Hello parents, and welcome to my longer video on how to help a struggling reader sound out words, because that is usually where they struggle, even if they know all the letter sounds. They don't always know all the letter sounds. One of the things that I do see is that parents don't usually know exactly how to help, because I help a lot more kids on a regular daily basis than you do. You don't have as much practice with it as I do. So, but you can totally do it. I'm going to show you what I do that I have found that works over the years. All right, so if you have an early reader, they might be reading a word like this. This is called a CVC word. It has a consonant, it has a vowel, and it has another consonant, CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. All right, so when those words, CVC words, the vowel's usually short. All right, so we do each sound, k, t. So even if your child is reading each of those sounds correctly, they may still have trouble blending them in. I hear a lot of things like ka, ah, t, ka, ah, ka, oh, and they get tongue-tied, okay? And then they usually try to come up with a word that's as close to what they just said as possible, and they'll just start saying colt, 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 or cart, 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 or cup. All right, they'll just start shouting because they really, really want to be correct. All right, so what do you do then? All right, so you just be gentle and you say, no, 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 you don't need to guess. You know this. There's no reason to guess. All right, because you know this. All right, now the important thing is with this first letter to not say ka. That's really two sounds. We don't have a U in this word. The sound, the hard sound for C is k. That's it, k. All right, so we have k, ah. So we can forget about this T for just a second. And let's blend these two together. For a long time, we were telling kids to put these two together and not blend this. And my struggling readers couldn't do k-ot because they got ka-ot, ka-ot. And they just, that's what they always did. So I have never taught it that way because as a reading specialist, I usually worked with the kids that were struggling a little bit. All right, so I always separated it like this, and this has become the trend now. I'm a trendsetter. So let's blend it this way. K-ah, ka. And you don't want to just give them the answer. You want them to try. If they're really just completely lost, then you want to do the I do, we do, you do. So that means you do it first. You show them how to do it. K, ah. And then you say things like, as soon as you're done making the k sound, you're going to go right into the ah sound with no gap. But you have to demonstrate that for them. K, ah, ka. Ka. As soon as I'm done making the k sound, I make the ah sound and practice it. Ka. Have them do it with you. The we do. Ka. We do it together. Ka. Then there's the I do, we do, you do. The you do is when the learner, your child, does it by themselves. But do that on the next word, okay? The next word that you read with them, that'll be when they try it on their own. If they can't do it on their own, then you go back to the I do. That's you. I do. We do together, and then you, the learner, does it on their own. And you keep doing that model until they can do it on their own. And it's okay to help them, but you have to make sure that you do the we do as much as you can until they can do it themselves. All right, so we have our ka. Let's add in our t. Ka, t. Caught. And again, try to get rid of that gap. Caught, caught, caught. All right. Let's try another word. All right. So what if your child isn't reading CVC words? They're reading these longer words, but still struggling. Well, this word is not any harder than that CVC word that we just read. So let's break it up into syllables. The syllables are just like little mini words. Now, with struggling readers, and you know what, even good readers, because I found good readers especially if they're advanced at all, they tend to not know the phonics rules as well because they were such good at readers. And that only gets them so far. So then around 4th or 5th grade, they start to bottom out and they can't learn and read the new words because they don't have the phonics skills. Everything that they've read up to that point, much of it was memorized. All right. So this works for both. So because of the lack of phonics skills and the struggling readers, they get distracted and they start guessing. They might read this syllable mar and just guess the rest of it. Marble. It starts the same. All right, so to prevent that, especially with struggling readers, I don't let them see the whole word at once for some of the lesson. I don't do this the whole lesson, but I just remind them of how easy it is to read the word parts. All right, so for this word part, this syllable, I see that we have a vowel with an R after it. It's an R-controlled vowel that sounds like this, R. All right, so we have R. Let's blend it. Again, we try to eliminate that gap. R. Mar. Mar. You do it for them. If they don't know how to do it, then have them do it with you. R. Mar. Here's our second syllable. This is our CVC pattern, consonant, vowel, consonant. When you see a vowel, it's the only vowel in the syllable and there's a consonant after it, the vowel is probably short. And it is in this word, k, t. And again, a struggling reader is going to have some trouble blending. So let's put the K and the E together. K, ke, cat, cat, cat. So there's our second syllable. All right, here is our whole word, our mar and our cat. And have them now blend the two word parts together, the two syllables, and try to eliminate this gap. Market, 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 market. All right, so what's going on? We don't say market. Did I tell you how to sound it out wrong? No. What happened is in our second syllable, this vowel is in an unstressed syllable. And what happens is it's called the schwa sound. All right, we just get a little bit lazy with that vowel sound and it sounds more like an I, like the short I sound. It's not quite that sound, but that's pretty close. All right, and what happens that I found is most readers, as long as they're familiar with the word market, that when they sound out mar and ket, market, oh, market, market. All right, so most readers can make that leap as long as they're familiar with the words. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever seen a word that you don't know and you've had to look it up in the dictionary just to check to see if you're pronouncing it correctly, this is why, okay? So it happens to you too. So what I usually do is I say, sound it out the way it looks, the way it's supposed to be, and you will just automatically make that leap. 9 times out of 10. The only time we don't make that leap is when it's a word we haven't heard before. So if you didn't know this word, you would even read it market, market. And honestly though, if you said it fast enough, you're probably going to get lazy with that and say market. It's just called the schwa sound. All right, and the symbol for the schwa sound, you've seen it in the dictionary. It's an upside down E. All right, here's our last word for today's video. Nocturnal, right? It looks so much more intimidating than the other two words that we read today, but it's really not any different. So let's read the first syllable. N, ah, k. If your child is making a s sound for this, then just say, you're right. You needed to know what letter was after it. The next letter is a T, so this C is just going to make its regular hard sound. K, n, ah, k. All right, let's blend the first two together. Remember to do the I do, we do, you do model. You were the I in that model, and your kid is the you. All right, so you might have to demonstrate it first. N, ah, na, na, k, knock, knock. There's our first syllable. Here's our second syllable. Again, we have a vowel with an R after it. Vowels with R's after them are usually controlled by that R. They're called R-controlled vowels. UR makes the sound T, blend it. T, ter, ter, ter. Here's our last syllable. I see that I have an A with an L after it. A with an L after it often sounds like a short O. Ah, ah, na, nal, nal, na. All right, here's our whole word. Then have them say each syllable. Knock, ter, nal, and have them try to get rid of these gaps. Do 2 at a time if they need to. Knock, ter, nocter, nocter, null, nocturnal, 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 nocturnal. What happened with that A? You guessed it. It is another schwa sound. The A is in a non-stressed syllable, and we get a little lazy with it. It's just easy to say nocturnal than it is to say nocturnal. Nocturnal. All right, it's just lazy. It's just easier. It just makes us talk faster when we're speaking and when we're reading. All right, well, I hope that helped. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would love to answer it. As you can imagine, I'd love to talk about reading. I love to talk about phonics. I love to talk about syllables and word parts and word origins, and I enjoy teaching and helping others read and helping parents with their children, and I enjoy all of this. So I am here. I am available to you. If you have any questions, just comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you are struggling with this or you don't have time, I know you're busy too, and you would like your child to have some extra reading outside of school or outside of your homeschool time, I am on OutSchool and I teach live classes. I have one-on-one classes. I have group classes. Please check that out. That's an extra resource if you need it. Also check out my YouTube channel. I have a lot of shorts that I do that are just quick information that you can grab on a daily basis. Hopefully that can, it's a 1-minute video that might help you out with your child. And I also have longer videos that you can watch with your child, activities you can do together if you don't want to pay for the OutSchool classes because you don't really need that much help, or you just want a little bit of extra help. The YouTube videos are available free to you. And please let me know if you have any questions or if there's any videos that you would like to see or any activities that you would like addressed. And I'll do my best to answer any questions or make new videos at your request. I really do enjoy this, so I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you tomorrow.